And what is good, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to Milwaukee Entertainment News. I'm your host, DJ Bro. We are here with another exciting interview with Andrew. I don't even want to try and butcher your last name because I know people do it to me all the time. What is your last name again?
Gasiorowski.
Gasiorowski. Okay, cool. How many different bands are you in? And
Two.
two?
Yep.
Insane Octane and Aces High?
Yep.
How'd you get started in music as a kid or adult or whenever you started?
I started when I was in high school. So I actually played first instrument I started with bass. So I could actually play bass, string bass, upright bass, and electric bass. But when I started doing chorus in high school, I loved that more. And that was more driven for me for singing.
It was always vocals, or
Yeah.
you ever pick up an instrument, or
Not anymore. It's just too much.
when
I
you
played in high school. I played for orchestra. I played for band, rock bands, and with bass. But right now, it's just focusing on singing.
so you play bass?
Yeah, not a lot of
Awesome.
people know that.
Yeah. Well, that's the stuff I want to try and dig out of you. You know what I'm saying? Like, what got you drawn into bass?
It was something in high school. Uh,
Just something in high school? You
yeah,
see a particular musician you really fancied and was like, ooh,
Billy Sheehan.
Billy Sheehan. He's one of those underrated people. You know, it's like he should have been way bigger than he was.
He was actually pretty big, I think. In my eyes, he played with Dave Lee Roth, Mr. Big.
Yeah, Mr. Big was big, you know, but he's not a common name in households as, you
No,
know, much as other musicians are, like Randy Rhoads or something, you know. And so, what made you switch into just pure vocals?
that was a passion I had. I just wanted to switch. I didn't start off the best, but actually learned it in high school, and I went to Conservatory of Music for a short time.
Conservatory Music Court?
Yep,
What is that?
on the lakefront. Milwaukee Conservatory of Music.
Oh, okay.
It's it's on the lakefront.
Okay. You know, I bet I'm going to get surprised again when I hear the answer to this because, you know, I was when I asked Nick, you know, about your age. We got to know how old you are.
56.
You are 56. Wow. I don't know how you guys do this with the staying young thing.
A lot of ibuprofen.
Yeah. Yeah. The amount of drinks that you used to have start fading into less and less, and then it hits like the zero mark, and that's where you stop drinking and you start taking ibuprofen. And then as the years go down, you start getting more and more of it. That's a that's a fun transition.
It's worth it, though.
Yeah, well, I'm 32, and shit, even over the course of this last tour I was on this past year, halfway through it, I really stopped really overall drinking at shows. Like, I mean, I just was, and
It's
I'll
way
hang out, you know, we'll have a good time, but I don't want to wake up like that tomorrow. I got shit to do. What all bands have you been in before?
Uh, I started back right after high school, and I was in a few bands nobody really knew. But then I did an original band called Mercurial Dream. We did all originals, so I actually have an original CD uh,
Hey.
laying around my downstairs in my bar. So we recorded an original CD, which eventually I'm going to do. Eventually, get back into doing original music. I have a few people in mind, and I'm going to ask. So that's going to be further down the road, though. But Mercurial Dream, and I'm trying to remember the other one. It was out of high school, so I'm trying to remember all these. I got lucky. I remember last week, much less.
You ever thought about putting that old music onto the computer and uploading it to YouTube and, you know,
I would have to remaster the whole thing. It's just one of those. We did a quick recording of it. Actually, one of the original bands I was in, I connected with them last year. We did that. You heard of the Pocket Cue? Did Nick bring that up?
yeah.
Like, great. So I ran into my old bass player. He goes, "You were in a band with me how many years ago?" And I was like, Oh yeah, but you changed your name. So Matty J, I reconnected with him. So I talk to him on a quite frequent basis when I get a chance. So he
Yeah.
old bass player I used to have in my original band.
What do you do when you're not messing around with music? You're
Taking care of my family.
just taking care of the family.
Yeah.
You
I
get.
separate the two. I'm gonna try to separate the two.
Oh, okay. So
Like
you
three
like.
dogs here. So I got three dogs and my wife and regular stuff that you have to do when you're a homeowner. So
Yeah.
I go check out friends of mine in their bands when I get a chance.
When you started music in high school and you were starting to play with different things, how uh, the environment that people start out in is a big thing. A lot of people's families are really into music and really empower that. Some people really don't really care too much. How was everything when you brought that up to family that you wanted to do rock?
They were supportive.
They were supportive. Nice, nice. They did they get you your first piece of equipment or?
I actually had a job and paid for my own.
Awesome, awesome. Love hearing that
That's
kind of stuff.
the age when you could work when you're 14, 15, way
Yeah,
back way back in the day.
yeah. I was 14, 15, no, 14 and a half when I got my first job, and yeah, like nowadays I'm seeing people that are like 25 and never had a job. It's like how? What was your first piece of equipment?
Lotus bass.
Lotus bass.
Yeah,
Did you like it? How long did you have
yeah.
it?
I've had it for years.
You still got it?
No.
Oh,
Then I had a Rickenbacker after that.
all
Next,
right.
so I had that.
Kind of amps did you have?
Oh, I'm trying to remember. I think it was PV.
Were you particular to PV or?
Uh, Pretty much, yeah.
Did you have a favorite of those or
No,
no?
I it's trying to remember what model it was, and it's been a long time.
What about for the vocals? What drew you to doing that? Who was the artist that inspired you for that one?
Oh man, pretty much it was Kiss. I was a big Kiss fan back then.
So which member is your favorite?
Paul Stanley.
What's his real name?
Uh, is it Ezrin or something? Or I'm trying to remember. Paul
No,
Ezrin, I think. I
no.
think.
Bob Ezrin is somebody different.
Okay, I'm trying to think.
I thought it was Paul Fraley. Low key. Yeah, Peter Criscola. I'd have to watch the movie Detroit Rock City again. How many Kiss shows have you been to?
I was at their last one here. I'd say at least four.
You're really into Kiss. If you ever, low key, I've never seen a Kiss tribute band in Milwaukee. Has that?
We had quite a few. We had
Oh,
quite a few. Yeah.
oh, were you a part of those?
No.
No. you know,
Uh, yeah, there was quite a few at a time. I think it's slimmed down right now. There's only a few people I know that do it, and I don't think they're from the city anymore. They're more traveling. I know Max
yeah,
Porter does it from. He's in the Kiss tribute band. I know Paul and Destroyers. They do it once in a while.
that'd be really cool to see. I've seen them a couple times, and it was always, well, I should probably go see them because this is a farewell tour. Well, I should probably go see them because this is their last tour, and I kept seeing it, and I was just okay, okay. They're not going anywhere.
Yeah, it was a good show. When I seen them just this past year at down on the lakefront, it
They
was
still got it. They still got it.
yeah,
Awesome.
great show.
Any other bands or?
Oh, I like a ton of stuff. So,
Well, what's the range here? Give me the range.
a lot of Dio is my favorite, which I cover in St. Octane, Black Sabbath, Slaughter. We got like Wiener, pretty much a lot of '80s metal bands.
Awesome, and that's what
Of course, Iron Maiden I do. I got my separate band for that, so
so
we'll
that's
do
what Insane Octane does is a lot of the
'80s metal.
80s.
Yeah, we're learning a bunch of new songs right now. So, uh, yeah, we mix it up. We do a lot of Motley Crue, Queensryche, uh, Dokken. So any '80s hair metal band you could think of will probably cover it.
Nice.
We're learning Slaughter, so I'm gonna learn the Slaughter song when I get a few minutes.
Awesome. How often has it been where you'd end up on the same ticket or at least even at like the same, small festival where there's multiple stages and you go over somewhere else and you see a band that's playing and they're doing the same songs you're doing? Does that happen often or?
That happens quite often. Well, we mutually, I'm friends with a lot of bands and the music that I do. You know, for Insane Octane, like Metal Men and Addiction and other bands like that. We try to coordinate. We kind of talk. What are you doing? What are you doing? It's going to overlap eventually. You know, you're going to do a song or two that we all do, and that honestly can't be helped. To coordinate what other bands are doing, so we don't copy the same stuff they're doing.
Yeah, that's awesome that you guys can, work together to make sure that none of your guys' stuff, overlap well as much as you can. Because there are those songs that just like everybody wants to hear. What songs, I'll say of this last season's bill, what songs got the most crowd reactions?
Everybody loves the Dio. Of which band? Insane.
Insane Octane.
Okay. Everybody loves the Dio. Uh, Dokken. I think what else we do. Motley Crue. Everybody loves Motley Crue. So we have alternating 4 Motley Crue songs in our set. Then we do a Vince Neil solo. You're Invited. We do that. We cover that one because nobody does that one. And that's a fun song to do. Uh, we do Highway Star from Deep Purple. We just learned. We just debuted Perfect Strangers at our last show, and people love that one.
All right.
A lot of we tried a variety of it out, and what so many shows that we have coming up, we don't do the same show every time because I think we all think that it gets kind of stale that you mix your songs up because you're gonna get the same people and oh they just played this before, and then there's gonna be staples of songs that we do that we always do. I mean, we always do Monkey Business by Skid Row, and we just added 18 of Life by Skid Row, and that went over really well. So we have an alternative, a lot of songs that we do. White Snake.
So you got that range.
That's what they say.
You got that range. Okay.
And what I try to do, I make it the vocals sound just as the studio version. So my vocals will change. You know, I try to adapt it to sound exactly like the album version. So that's pretty much what I do.
Okay.
Different. So you're going to hear different vocal ranges on each song or each artist. So I
Wow.
adapt it to where it sounds exactly like the album. And I have people come up to me and say, "Hey, you just sound exactly like the artist," and you switch it around like that. And it's like a lot of work, but it's worth it for me.
Yeah. One of the things that I was really thinking about was should I try as much as I can to get it to sound like the studio album versions or find my own sound as a vocalist and just sing from there. Have you done both ways or have you always just done the album one?
I've done both ways.
Okay, and which one you see you like better is
I like doing it to the studio the way it sounds.
and
My voice can adapt to different ranges.
wow,
But
okay.
I still got my identity as a singer that you'll notice. But you're going to sound it. It's going to actually sound like the album. I try to as close as possible.
Man. Own sound but still sounds like okay. This sounds like I've really been lacking out here with the knowing. Wow, okay. So, yeah, definitely going to be looking out to getting out on the next show to see what that is going to be like. Holy shit. When does Insane Octane have next shows?
Swagger's December 1st.
Swagger's December 1st? You playing with anybody else?
I'll text you our schedule. We just posted. We're Facebook friends, so our schedule is up. We got a full schedule. We just added one last night, another one. So we have a full schedule coming up the whole year.
Awesome. Awesome.
So you can see if there's a lot of opportunities in December to see us.
Awesome. Yeah, that is awesome. So you guys do the festival season and the winter season?
Oh yeah,
Shit.
we summertime we usually get the Harley. We get a few Harleys and a few outdoor shows. Asia. That's the bike night. We do a few of those, and we're not really a festival band, say like Cherry Pie or Almighty Vinyl, or ours would be too hard for that kind of outdoor shows.
Ah, man, I've been thinking a lot about those outdoor, about the way that the festivals are going these days, and it's like I interviewed Josh Becker a long time, I think
Good.
last year, and he had mentioned that he saw that there was the swing of that style of music was coming back in. He just got into it at the right time. Now that, the 80s hair metal now has actually been triumphant as shit in festivals for like 3 decades now,
Yeah,
do you feel a shift coming?
I'm hoping.
And what do you think it'll shift into?
I'm hoping, like the variety that we do, it'll shift that way a little bit more.
Yeah, go a little harder.
Right now, it's in a lot of different phases where it's at. There's a lot of country everybody wants to do. That's a lot of the festival bands is country, and then there's like the variety bands, like I mentioned, that do cater to go more to what the crowd wants. And we kind of do what people want, but we want to put our own, do it like what we do, like what we're doing. Enjoy the songs that we're doing.
All right. Yeah, because I only think about, of course, you guys went to high school listening to this, and had a lot of fun times listening to this, had kids, now you're going to the festivals. You're going to the festivals with the kids, like, hey, I remember this, I want to jam out with that. Well, now it's my generation that's out here, and we grew up at festivals listening to a lot of this same music, and it's like, okay, well, when is there going to be a band that's doing like the stuff that we grew up listening to? Like the Breaking Benjamin, the 3 Days Grace, the Buck Cherry, the Bullet for My Valentine. The stuff like that. And
We
I
actually we actually have a show with a band called Buster Daisy, and they cover that stuff.
Buster Daisy,
Yeah, we have a
awesome.
show coming up with them in Imperial Fall, December 23rd at the bar.
This
So
sounds like
they
an
cover that
awesome show. Hold on a second. We got to shout this one out. This sounds like an awesome ass show. Hold on a minute. So, December 23rd at the bar.
in West Dallas. Yeah,
Uh,
you're gonna get a mix of what we 80s metal and what we do. Then what you just said was Buster Daisy. They cover everything that you just said, pretty
right.
much, as far as I know, pretty close to what you just said. And we have an Imperial Fall that does our originals. If you haven't seen them yet,
Oh
they're
yeah.
awesome, man. So I'm happy. I mean, we set the show up, and we hope a lot of people come. But it's like the day before Christmas, but we're trying to promote the heck out of it just to have a lot of people come. It's gonna be a fun time.
Man, you know what? It's a Friday or Saturday? What day is that?
Yeah,
Saturday?
yeah.
You know
Start-
what? I think that might actually really pop. Like, you may get some single people out there, like, okay, you stay home and get the cooking going and wrap the present. I'm going to get my ass down over there. That is definitely an awesome thing that's going to be happening. Shit, I can't wrap my head around that one. That one is literally for everybody.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to do. I wanted to make it not the same genre of music. And Buster,
Yeah.
I saw last year. When I went to my friend of mine, Talon, he has his open jam, and I saw them play, and I said, "Oh, I want to get them on the bill eventually, one of our shows." So the opportunity came to have three bands, so I called them, and they were up for doing it. And I'm friends with a lot of these people in the scene, and a lot of these bands I want to showcase that I know that maybe some people haven't heard of them, and they have a good fan base. But I just just be nice to have a variety of music on one night.
Yeah. And you're covering a lot of fan bases. Like,
That was the plan.
yeah, there's a lot of, you're going to have guys anywhere from 25 to 75 in that crowd, and it's going to go nuts.
We're hoping.
That's definitely going to be around there. What's Aces High got going on? How'd you end up stumbling around into there?
Actually retired from music for a while because of all the wonderful stuff that goes around with that. With people that that did drugs and they don't need to practice. So I retired for a while, and I got up one day and I told my wife I said I want to get back into music again. So I was looking at ads, and my friend Aaron Lane had an ad out for Iron Maiden tribute. I said, oh, I said, give that a try. My wife goes, I never seen you sing, and I never heard of Iron Maiden. So I went down there to audition, and I got the job. And from there, we took off. It's going to be 10 years for Aces High being together, and that's a long longevity for one band. And we're going to have a 10-year anniversary party next year. We're trying to keep it low key and see. We have a few bands we have in mind, and try to make a big deal out of it and have a good show.
Right.
And Nick's, this is probably the best version of Aces High we've had. We've got Nick Smith in there. Now we got Mark Van Massenhove, Tom Williams, Aaron Lane. So we just really mesh good together.
You think about ever reaching out to Iron Maiden?
Nah,
Like, hey, what would it take for one of you guys to come over here for this party we're having? Like just to do a walkthrough. Hip hop does that a lot, low key. Like there is like an entire price list of stuff that they'll come out and do. Like you want them to perform, or you want them to just walk through and party with you guys. Whether you want them to host the event, or there's like a whole thing. So it's like, you ever kind of think about like what it would take to you know have somebody come out?
every day. It
Well,
would be nice.
Well, Google is a great thing. No, they'll take you through a lot of. They'll take you through like a website that posts for another website that posts for the booking management that posts for the management that posts for the artist, and every single one of those wants money along the way. So that artist and management may only want, a grand or two for to come out and do something, but because you went the whole channel, it's now like $10,000.
Yep.
And it's like, so it really does come into who you know thing, and it sucks that band is over in the UK. Have you ever had anybody of major influence in the crowds?
You know what?
In your crowds, like that you've just like looked out and been like, oh shit, you
Well, yeah,
know?
I love all the Milwaukee musicians that we all support each other. So that's all the people that come up to our shows that makes it for me.
Oh, I'm talking about. Have you ever had somebody of major influence? Like I know one of the members of Disturbed has a bar out here.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
we're playing that one.
Right, so it's like there's like Skillet now lives out here. I don't know if you know who Skillet is.
Yeah,
So like there's a lot of also Devil Wears Prada. I think half of their band now lives over here. Like I mean, there's a lot of big musicians that live in the area. Have you ever had a time where you've looked out in the audience and go, "Holy shit, that's him"?
not yet.
Not yet. Okay. You think it'll? Are you hoping for that over at the?
If it happens, it happens.
I think about that sometimes. It's like if you were just doing a show and you just look down, and you just see Bruce, and you're just like, uh,
What's the word for the song?
yeah. Now I'm thinking, now I'm gonna like, now it's not, I'm not comfortable anymore. Now I don't know. It's like I want to do extra because he's here, but I also don't want to do extra because that's doing too much and it'll fuck it up, So it's like you got to remain calm, but it's like no, not like it's one thing to just walk up, like hey man, what's going on, don't fangirl, that's fine, But when you're on stage and it's like it's kind of like a little mini audition. It's like I'm not auditioning, but I am. What's your favorite part about doing shows?
uh, just singing. That's my favorite. Performing. I mean, as long as if people are having a good time, that's what makes it all worthwhile. And we try to put on a great stage show for both bands,
Right.
and we really tighten it up. So just the joy that people have I love when people come to our shows, and with other musicians, I really admire the other musicians that we all support each other. That makes a big difference.
Obviously you've been doing music for a long time. And there's been, of course, times that you actually have even stopped. There's times that a lot of musicians go through that. What advice would you have for any younger musician that is struggling at that point where they are deciding whether they should hang it up forever or keep pushing?
I would say make sure you have a good formula with your band members. Make sure you all get along, and that's the big key. I mean, there's times where we've had disagreements, but we get over it. It's like a family. You're going to have your disagreements, and you're not always going to agree, but you get through it. This is how much you want to push through it. I have no problems with either band I'm in. I'm happy. I'm blessed with both bands. We all are on the same page. So it's just push it and find the right formula of band members to play with. If one's not working, then it's like eventually you might have to find another band. Because I've been through that situation already, and
That's a whole another good thing right there is finding the right formula of people, but trying to see what you yourself as an individual, should I keep doing music or not? What advice do you have for that person?
it's how much you want to do it. It's your passion. I lost my passion a while way back then, and I got it back because I wanted to go back and do it. But I was beaten down, and I felt my time was wasted, and I didn't feel it was going anywhere. And those are the times you got to pull it up a little bit. And I wish I would have known that a while back, but now here I am today. I'm happy the way things are going, so I pulled myself out of it.
You went through it and was like, nah, you know what? I'm gonna keep going. I can't stop doing this. That's ultimately right there. Keep pushing, keep going. There's a lot of things that people will do to that drag them down that ultimately also touch into your life, and it extends into more than just the music.
That's what happened with me.
Yeah, that whole behind the scenes thing
Yep.
is a big thing. Like, do you guys as bands go out and hang out?
Yeah, occasionally we do. Like, or when our schedule's the way, yeah, we do. I mean, we usually get together for dinners and stuff like that when we get a chance.
That's awesome. That is a great piece of advice there. Treat your bands like it's another chick. I mean, yeah, you gotta wine and dine them a little bit. You gotta smooth talk them a little bit. You gotta caress them a little bit.
Like at our last Aces show we played at Club Garibaldi, we all went out. All the band members and our wives went out for dinner before our show. And that's usually what we try to do, depending on schedules.
Just having the brotherhood alone, just to be able to reach out to a bunch of like-minded people and be like, hey, let's go out. And yeah, man, I'm down. Let's go. That's
Yep,
awesome. That's awesome. That's hard to find.
yep.
It's
That's why I'm blessed. I'm in two good bands.
Yeah. I think if anybody that just had a group of friends, like if you got like four friends and you guys hang out all the time, why don't you guys just pick up an instrument? You guys would be an awesome band just because you work well together. I mean, y'all been friends all for 20 years now. Like that's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
So um,
The number one question, I will wonder what you're gonna say this one. But number one question they ask me and my wife is, can he talk the next day after his show? It's always the number one question I get. My wife said he talks fine. He's
so
get that because we usually put our all out in our shows. So
so
I
that
may be hurting the next day body wise, but
okay.
it's usually it's fine. It's how you take care of your voice. So
Yeah, what are remedies that you use to take care of the voice?
I use like throat coat, and then I used vocal drops during shows. There's vocal drops that you can buy, and tea and honey.
Okay. All.
Mm.
right. You do a lot of warm ups and warm downs, or?
Yep, before
Yeah,
show.
yeah, those are those are big. Like one of the things I got to get over is this before I start actually doing anything. Cause yeah, like anytime like I'm even going down and I'm singing down over here, like I live in Hartford and there's a
Okay.
big place over here, the Mine Shaft, and they got karaoke on Fridays, and there was like a while where I was down there like every Friday, and yeah, it when I was doing that, it was like if I'm going out this week, I'm limiting my smoking, to one cigarette every like 2 hours, and then I of course have to, do the warm ups and warm downs. Otherwise, yeah, the next day I'm
You're,
gonna be sound like this, So it's like, and that's only just doing a few songs. So like, well, then again, you are doing a lot of whoos all night, But I mean, like, I can imagine going for anywhere from 45 minutes to 5 hours of just cranking that out. Like
yep.
it's always a big question as what do you guys do to keep
Yep.
going?
Yeah, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of vocal training on my end. So
Awesome. You ever think about doing originals?
yeah, I'm gonna do that eventually. I have a few people in mind. Probably my old bass player Matty J. I'm gonna talk to him about trying to get something together whenever we both have time. He's got his thing going and a lot of projects going, and I got mine going right now. So somewhere down the line.
What kind of music is that going to sound like?
Uh, more probably more like it's gonna be a little variety. You're gonna be surprised probably.
All right. And it'll be like five genres had a baby.
It'll be pretty much what I'm doing now, but more melodic. I want to make my CD if I make when I make one. I want to more showcase the vocal range is what I'm steering towards. I write my own lyrics too, so I've written. I was in two original bands back in the day, so
Right.
written all the lyrics for both of those bands. So,
If you could have any singer featured on a song with you,
oh,
who would it be?
wow, that's a good question.
And what kind of song would it be? Because you got to think it's like some people you want to do that power ballad with, some people you want to do that banger with. It's like, okay, but you got to pick one.
I would say David Coverdale,
David Coverdale from where? From who?
White Snake,
From who?
White Snake.
White Snake. Okay, yeah, yeah. There's my 32-year-old mind right there. I know who they are. I just, like the
He's got that balance of the blues and the rock and so
man.
in the range.
Yeah, him and the guy from Steelheart.
Yeah, that's a tricky. Guys from Addiction do Steel Heart.
I heard, I heard there was a few friends of mine that went down and seen it. I was supposed to go with them, but I ended up with a lot of shows, and that ended up being a night I couldn't make. But yeah, a few of my friends went down there, and they were just blown away. They're just like, man, I don't know if we should even keep doing what we're doing, bro, because we got bands like that out here. Like, bro, he did fucking Steelheart. Like, no,
We're good. We're good friends with that band.
yeah.
Yeah, they're actually playing Saturday at Kelly's. I think it's Wind Lake.
All
This,
right, Kelly's Bleachers.
yeah.
Awesome.
So we're planning on that one this upcoming weekend.
Right. See, it's those nice little outings that are awesome.
Yep.
If you guys were to get approached by five bands to go on a 2024 tour and perform with them, like, hey, look, we need a new singer, for the tour, and there's five bands asking you, which one you going with?
It depends on situation.
Depends on situation. So we got a national tour happening with like 40, 50 dates, and we're going with either Whitesnake, Skid Row, Mr. Big, Scorpions, or
You're making it hard for me.
yeah,
Queensryche.
Queensryche. Yeah, we'll go with that one. So out of those five, I think you already said Queensryche, so that's the one you're gonna pick out of any of them.
I would have to think about it. You're putting a lot of good bands out there.
Yeah. Yeah, what do you think of Queensryche's singer that they currently have?
Awesome. I've seen them before.
Yeah, there's been a couple of those bands that I've recently seen, like Skid Row and Queensryche, that if you were just listening, you would barely even know it's a different guy.
Yeah, they're awesome. I like the new singer. He's been with them for a while, but he's a good fit for that band.
Yeah.
Skid Row singer I haven't seen yet, so I've heard. I got to look up some videos on him yet.
Yeah. It was at.
Good too.
Who?
Our singer from Skid Row, the new singer.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's German, but it was another one of those moments where I was like, oh my God, Skid Row's going over to Summerfest. I want to go see them, because like I'm, big Sebastian fan, and I get there and I'm looking and I'm all like, that don't look like him. Where's his hair? Like, nah, wait a minute. But it sounds like him. Hold on a second. Let me listen. No, that's gotta be him. I'm sitting there, I'm Googling and shit, because I'm like, this. It was so confusing. What is the ultimate goal you have for music? When are you going to feel like you have completely done everything that you've wanted to do?
It's going to be a while. I think right now I'm at voice is where I want it to be. So I'm not retiring anytime soon.
You're gonna keep going till you can't.
Yep.
Yeah, that's how you
keep
can really
going for a
tell. Oh, let me go ahead and throw a funny one out there. If you were stuck on a desert island and there was one toy you could have, what toy would that be?
Maybe a little baby keyboard.
That's actually probably the best answer for that, because every other toy is limited to what they can do.
Yeah.
A toy instrument?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know if I could even accept that, because I mean, it is an instrument. I don't know.
I could accept it.
Because I was over here thinking an Etch-a-Sketch.
Is that
Or,
going with the stand?
right. Or a Tonka truck. It can help me build stuff. Oh, man. Let me throw this one out there, too. What animal are you most afraid of?
Ooh, shark.
A shark.
Yep. My wife would testify for that. We went, I think it was California, and I wouldn't even stick my foot in the ocean.
Sharks.
Yeah.
Wow. I can't even remember the statistics on that. Hold on a second. I kind of want to go ahead and look that up. United States, even considering only people who go to beaches, a person's chance of getting attacked by a shark is 1 in 11.5 million. And a person's chance of getting killed by a shark is less than 1 in 264.1 million. However, in certain situations, the risk of a shark attack is higher.
There you go.
So, those odds got you shook.
Yeah, I watch all those movies. That's probably what.
Right, you grew up with like Jaws, Deep Blue Sea,
Yep. The Meg.
Poseidon Adventure.
Yep.
Although there was no sharks, but still. Man, that is crazy. I knew it was a slim chance, but I didn't know it was that slim. Holy wow. I don't know. I'm partial to the ostriches. Ostriches, they can jump 7-8 feet high.
I think did you bring it up on Andrew Balistri's?
Yeah.
When I watched, yeah.
Yeah,
He's a friend of mine too. We talk almost like every day.
Yeah, I like feel it's like necessary to spread the word about how dangerous those big ass birds are. I mean, like, if their brain was any bigger than what it is, they'd rule the world, bro. Like, I mean, It's legit. We got to spread the word on those. I had a guy that was afraid of like birds, like parakeets and shit. Another thing now, as a vocalist, so you play around with a lot of different microphones. You bring your own microphones to gigs?
Yes.
And what microphones are those?
Sure, 58's uses I use. Then I have a few wireless, and I usually bring all my own stuff.
Nice.
Sometimes the venue provides it, so I go whatever makes it easier for them.
Right, but those Shure 58s though,
Yep.
I got the wireless ones, the PG 58s. Oh man.
I like to go back to Sennheiser pretty soon. I think I'm going to try that again. The Sennheiser series.
What's difference between the two that you notice?
Sennheiser's more clear, I think. For me, I was going to give it a shot again. I had one, I loved it.
Okay.
I must have wore it out, so I worked on my wore it out.
Right. What's your what's the favorite venue? Do you have a favorite venue? Like, I mean, I know all venues are awesome, and they all are awesome in different ways. But I don't know. I feel like personally, even me, like there's favorite spots you just like going to that just feel like you're home when you're there. You got any of those spots?
Polly's is a good one. It's one of our favorites. I mean, I like playing there. The bar is always a great one to play too. So it's quite a few. I can't single and sing one's a particular favorite, but we've been all over the place. So I like them all. I don't want to say one's my total favorite, but
Yeah.
has made us feel really good. So or treated us nice. So
Yeah, I noticed there's a lot of the rock bars are like that, where like a lot of the rock scene, and I can't even say I know too many country bands besides like Rebel Grace, but mainly in rock, there's a lot more of a family atmosphere no matter where you go.
yeah,
It's not like, oh, well, you party down there at that club. No, it's, oh, you do music? Come here. Like, or you like music? Come on over here, like, and it's just like, it's really awesome that, like, there are more and more venues that you go to, and, like, you can't pinpoint one that feels like home, or one that makes you feel better than the other, or one crowd that makes you feel better than the other, or, feel more comfortable around. They really do a good job at creating a good atmosphere for the events. I got to give props out to them for that.
yeah. There's a lot of great venues. Like I can't single one out. They all treated us well wherever we play, and I would have to say all the venues we play at are pretty much feel like home. Anytime you're on a stage, it's like home. But they all treat us. I mean, haven't been treated unfairly anywhere. So I'm blessed with.
Awesome. Awesome. That's a big one too. Just overall how business is done. Like there's a lot of shadiness that happens in a lot of different corners, and it's very fortunate to sit back and go, I haven't had anyone try some slick shit in a minute. That's awesome.
I just want to thank everybody for coming to our shows. It means a lot to both my bands personally. We all love the crowds. We love the fans that come see us. We have a big year coming up in 2024. Where Aces High is going to do. I know we were talking about doing a whole album again of Iron Maiden. Of one particular album. I can't really say which one we're going to do, so that's going to be a surprise. But we have a lot of good stuff on the horizon for both bands, and we bring it up every time. We try to take it to the next level in each band. We just appreciate the musicians that come out and see us, and like I said, the fans that come out and see us. It means a lot to us.
Where can everybody find your guys' schedules at? Like, you guys got Facebook pages and everything? What are the addresses to those?
It's just on Facebook. We got Insane Octane you can find on Facebook, and Aces High. A tribute to Iron Maiden's on Facebook too.
Cool. So just in a little search bar in your Facebook
Yeah.
things, go ahead and just type in Aces High, a tribute to Iron Maiden, or Insane Octane to see everybody's full schedules as to where they're going. I'm sure you can also see them if you follow any of your venues around. They are also pretty good at sharing things, as well as old school ways of posting flyers. Those are always fun to read.
We still
Uh,
do that here.
yeah, yeah, I love it. I love it. I got a stack of them that I wrapped around my house one time, and it was awesome. Just looking back, like hell yeah, that accomplishment feeling. But I really look forward to seeing what is happening on this next 2024 year with Aces High and Insane Octane. It sounds like you guys got put a lot of thought into what you're doing and a lot of work into it, and uh, really can't wait to see it pay off for it.
We're looking forward to 2024.
Awesome. Well, to everybody out there, make sure you like and subscribe and follow everybody involved. And don't do anything I wouldn't do. And if you do, name it after me.